Hello everyone, welcome to part 1 of multiplying matrices. So when we look at matrices, we need to understand that not all matrices can be multiplied together. For matrices to multiply, the number of columns in the first matrix must equal the number of rows in the second matrix. So if we look at this first matrix here, this is a 2 by 2 matrix. It's got 2 rows and 2 columns. If we compare this to the next matrix, which is also a 2 by 2, we can see that the columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. So, because these two numbers here are equal to each other, we can multiply these matrices together. So just check. If the columns on the first one equals the rows on the next one, they can be multiplied together. Let's look at a different matrix. So this matrix here is of a different dimension. It is a 2 by 5. But if we compare the columns in the first with the rows in the second, they are still the same. Therefore, these matrices can still be multiplied. Here's another example. When I put this matrix here, now this is a 1 by 2 matrix. It's got a 1 row and 2 columns. Now we can see that the columns in the first matrix does not equal the rows in the second one. So we cannot multiply these together. It's impossible to multiply them. But if we swap the order of the matrices like this, and then check our dimensions again, we've got a 1 by 2 on the left and a 2 by 2 on the right. And now the columns of the first matrix equals the rows of the second matrix. So just by swapping the order, we took something that didn't work and we made it possible to multiply. So it's really important to understand the order we try to multiply matrices matters. I'm not going to show you how to multiply matrices in this video here, but just watch what happens. If I multiply A by B, so this is a 2 by 2 with a 2 by 2, the result is this matrix here, 40, 47, 15, 18. If I decide to flip the order of the matrices, if I make B go first instead of A, I get this result here, 22, 21, 37, 36. So A times B and B times A give very different results. This is really important, okay? Because the order that you multiply matrices will give you different answers. So please keep that in mind. Here's another example. We've got a 2 by 2 matrix on the left, and we've got a 2 by 5 matrix on the right. Now, if we multiply in the order A times B, we'll get this big matrix here. But if we try to do the reverse and multiply B times A, all of a sudden the columns will not match the rows. So it's impossible. So again, A times B and B times A gave very different results. So what I suggest you do in any test situation is always check if a multiplication is possible before multiplying. So before you even try to multiply, which I'll show you later on, always check if it's possible. You can save yourself a lot of time and headaches just by doing that check. Alrighty, here's a question I want you to try. So just remembering that when you multiply, the columns of the first matrix have to equal the rows of the second. So I want you to decide if the following matrix multiplications are possible. We've got A on the left, we've got B in the middle, we've got C on the right. Look down below, we've got different combinations here. I want you just to tell me if it's possible. Please pause the video, give it a go. Alrighty, let's try to work this out. First of all, we got a 2 by 2 on the left. In the middle, B was a 2 by 4. And on the right, we've got a 4 by 4 over here. So if we try to do A times B, we're going to end up with a possible scenario. That's because if we look at this, the columns in the first one here matches the rows here. So that's all good. For the next one, if we wanted to do B times A, we're going to be putting this first. So this would be our columns 4 and the rows here would be 2. So we know straight away that's not going to be possible because the columns in the first did not match the rows in the second. The next one, A times C. Well, looking at the columns here, that does not match this here. So we know straight away that's not possible. If we flipped it around, so this was first, We'll look at the 4 here, compare it to the 2. No matter how you try, you cannot multiply A and C together. Next one, B times C. Well, if B's going first, we've got a 4 here and a 4 here. That's going to work. And finally, if we flip it around, if we put C first, 4 by 4 times a 2 by 4, that 4 and that 2 do not match, so it's not going to be possible. So guys, I hope that makes sense. Just please always check, do the columns in the first matrix match the rows in the second? If they do, you can multiply. If they don't, it's not going to be possible, so don't waste your time. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Have a great day.